Well, did you know that everyone has a subconscious attitude towards money? Did you also know that the major cause of serious problems married couples face, no, it's not sex or who didn't do the chores or who forgot whose birthday? It's money. How they earn it, how they spend it, whether they save it. Now, I'm married, and so I can tell you I can relate to all of this. And our next guest, CFP and book author Julie Murphy Casserly, shows people how to make the money flow in her new book. This is the book right here. It's called The Emotion Behind Money, Building Wealth from the Inside Out. Welcome, Julie.
Thanks, Danielle.
All right, so why decide to write this book?
Well, I am one of 12 children, so there was an awful lot of emotion behind the money in a household when there was a scarcity of money because there were so many people living off of one income. And I really realized in my career that there was a huge disconnect between humanity and the financial services marketplace. And I noticed that that was more of the emotional numbers bridging to the financial numbers and having a harmony between the two of them for long-term success.
You know, a lot of people wouldn't even put emotion and money in the same sentence because they think they're so separate, but they really are not, are they?
No, they are not. I was absolutely shocked when I went to go trademark for the book that no one had even tried that before. And and to me, every individual that I meet with, there's always emotion behind the money. It's never the logical reactions that we have with money, it's the emotional ones.
Well, how do we find out what our true emotional connection or disconnect is to money? How do we find out the emotion behind it?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, you have to give yourself the space. And if you don't have the space or your spouse doesn't have the space, sometimes you can hold that for that other person. But the problem is when we have our emotions going everywhere and our tanks are too full in this busy society that we're living in these days, we need to take a step back and say, well, what are my dreams? What are my desires? And then really try to shift your money to do those things as opposed to being pigeonholed into a lifestyle, you know, that many of us have done these days because you wake up every day and you're having to pay your car payment, your house payment, and your mortgage payment, your student loans, your kids going to college, as opposed to the quality of life that you really want.
So you know what happens is with a lot of married couples, money is something they never talk about before they get married, right? They wait until they get married and then it becomes this whole big emotional issue.
Right.
Why do you think that's a conversation I don't want to say is taboo, but that's really not thought about before marriage, and then it presents such problems once you get married?
Absolutely. Well, we all come to the table with our viewpoints of how money should operate. You know, should the man, you know, be the person who keeps the checkbook? Should it be the woman? And we get that from our parents. And so we have to realize that if we haven't done our own financial healing before we've come to the table in a marriage, that's going to bubble up as other things like children get added to the mix and, you know, having to keep a job because you're supporting other people and things of that nature.
All right, so you figured out your emotion behind money, right? Let's just say you have. How do you act on that?
Well, that is always the tricky part, isn't it? Well, and the biggest thing is to support yourself around people that you want to model yourself after. And, you know, throughout my book, I have 22 different exercises that will help people start to bridge some of those gaps to where it is that they're at to where it is that they want to go.
And so what are some of the ideas that you'd like to get across then in terms of financial healing?
That you deserve it. I think that's the biggest piece. I think so many people think that they don't deserve it, and they do, that you do deserve a quality of life that you dream of and that you desire. I mean, that's one of the best parts about being in America is the fact that you have that. And so take advantage of it as opposed to living day to day and not being happy.
I think the other thing too is that it is a process, is it not? Is it not? It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time.
Absolutely. And you have to give yourself that space. And one of the other big components is don't judge yourself. Don't blame yourself. Just know exactly where it is that you're at and go, okay, well, now we know how to get to the next step, and give that space to yourself.
And also realize that money is a tool.
Absolutely. Money is currency. Currency flows. The question is, what is your flow? Is it positive or negative?
So let me ask you this, and I know this is getting a little personal, but I know you said that you were one of 12 children, right?
Absolutely.
So you had a lot of, you know, issues in terms of money. There wasn't a lot of it in your house.
Absolutely.
So what kind of emotional baggage did you bring to your own marriage as it relates to the emotion behind money?
Absolutely. My husband would love to answer that question. Mine was all about the fact that when I had something really, really nice, I didn't want anyone to touch it. So one day when I came home and he had one of my t-shirts on, I was like, what are you doing? That's my t-shirt. But I found that I not only did that with the things that we bought, but it was also how I was spending, that it was okay for me to spend things on what I wanted, but that I didn't really value what he wanted. And you need to validate both people in a marriage as opposed to just one so that you can create that harmony and create wealth.
Good stuff, Julie. So if people want to find out more information about you, where they can buy the book, where can we do that?
You can do that on my website on emotionbehindmoney.com. It's also available on Amazon, and we have lots of examples and other people that can blog on our website as well, so you can be a part of a community that wants financial healing as well.
All right, Julie, thank you so much. We appreciate all that great advice.
You're welcome.
Next, important health information all parents should know about. Stay tuned.